Welcome to Let's Play iOS Games. I'm Dan, and let's play some Pocket Trains, new on iOS. Pretty cool. I've already started the game. Here, you can see my map. These are the train lines that I'm running. Nothing. It's just blank space. You only have stations available for where you are licensed to operate. So here we have licenses. I'm only licensed in Europe, and I'm not sure if it starts you in Europe every time you play or if it's random, but that's where it started me this time. And another difference between this and Pocket Planes is that you can only have one train operating on a certain line at any given time. If I want to, say, take this green train and run it on this dark blue line, I need to basically change it to a green line. And then if I do that, the blue train can't run on that line. And doing that costs money or in-game coins. So up to now I haven't had to do that. And I've been trying to plan out my expansion so I don't have to reroute everything later on. And you can see in London there is, if we go into the menu again, here we have an event, and there is a yogurt shop opening in London, and you have to deliver 50 jobs to that station. And I guess each event lasts for 24 hours. I'm not sure if that's going to be forever, but there was an event yesterday in Paris and then one today in London. You can see I've completed 28 jobs already. So let's go back. This is my Bluebell steamer. We can check out the train. The Bluebell steamer, you can change the name if you like. You can swap the engine with a different engine if you get, better engines later on. But for now I'm just running on Steam engines. But of course you have to use coins. And so there's one engine, and then you can add a fuel car, which will let it go farther, without having to refuel. And then you can shut down the line, which I don't really care to do, or I can change the line color. So in the car, here we have the engine. You can slide it forward and back. Then we have this guy with the propeller hat. He's pretty nice. And then if I click on the top right, I can see all of the trains that I have right now. The Cherry Steamer goes a little bit faster than the Bluebell's train. I guess it doesn't really give you any info on it. Let me go into the craft parts. So here, Cherry Steamer. I can craft that because I have 3 parts, 3 of 3 parts. My Emerald Steamer, I haven't made any of those, but I have 7 of 3 parts. And then there's all these other ones. Go down to here, I have this Daylight train, but that requires 12 parts, so that's going to be a while before I get that. But let's take a look. It goes 87 miles an hour. It can carry 18 cars, has 700 fuel, and then you can add a fuel car, which I'm hoping doubles the fuel. But let's go back up. The Cherry Steamer, 54 miles an hour, base fuel is 230, and so let's compare that to, I don't have any blueberry ones. Emerald Steamer, it goes slower, so 47 miles an hour, but it gets 270 base fuel, so it's a lot more. It can go for longer. And how this game works is you get these crates, and you get these crates pretty often. You get them for delivering them to different cities, or when you upgrade you get these special crates. The special crates are on the left, and then the regular crates are on the right. You can see I have 5 special ones, 7 regular ones, and to open them it costs 10 bucks. And another big difference between this and previous Nibblebit games like Pocket Planes and Tiny Tower, they seem to throw bucks at you pretty quickly. So let's just uncrate this one on the right. National Express part. Let's see. National Express, I have 4 parts for that train. Cool. That goes 100 miles an hour, that's pretty good. There's a Metro Express, 109. I think that might be the fastest one I have unlocked so far. So yeah, back to the crates. We can unbox one of these special ones just to see. Another daylight part. And then in my yard, after you craft a train, it goes into your yard. And I recently crafted a fuel car. So there's fuel cars and engines in this game. And we can just take a look. Emerald Steamer. I'll craft one of those. You have your choice between a fuel car or an engine. If you don't have any engines, you can't really use a fuel car. So let's craft an engine. And 3 parts. And that goes into my yard. So I have an Emerald Steamer engine. And a Bluebell Steamer engine. I said blueberry earlier. So yeah, that one goes 50 miles an hour and it gets 250 base fuel. So here's my Cherry Steamer. We're in Milan right now. And let's see, I can move it back and forth to check out what kind of cars I have attached. Some tires, whatever that thing is, like an office. Some greenhouses it looks like, and a crate. So we can click on the jobs, and here we have a map where I can zoom in and out, and then scroll up and down on here to see what I can deliver. So as I mentioned before, this train can only operate on this green line between Berlin and Barcelona. I can extend it into Madrid or Minsk or Budapest, but I have to purchase those. So right now I'm carrying the business car, the tires, the greenhouse, and the train cart. They're all going to Munich, which is on my line. So I'm gonna tap on Munich and send it over to Milan. And there it goes. I really like how this looks. I find myself just watching this sometimes for a long time. And there's coins that fly by, sometimes bucks fly by, and even parts, or crates. And as it's going, I can slide it back and forth, check out what I have. It's kind of like Tiny Tower. You can just watch the people walk around in their little cars. And I don't know why, but it's pretty enjoyable. So if I tap on the car itself, or on the train, I can see I have a train crate going to Munich, greenhouse car, there's a buck. All of these are going to Munich. And then it says how much money I'm going to make for each one, 36 coins. And then nothing for the crate, because it's a crate. Let's check out my other cars. Bluebell Steamer on the light blue line. You can see the fuel is full. There's the Bluebell Steamer at the top, and then the E and F gauge right underneath it. So right now I'm carrying these bulldozers. Let's see, where does it want to go? These bulldozers are going to Paris. So I could add, you can see Bluebell Steamer at the bottom, 5 of 8 cars already attached, so I can carry 3 more cars, which doesn't give me very many options considering I'm going to Paris. Yeah, I can't really carry anything else, so I'm just gonna go straight out to Paris even though I'm not full. And depart. And there it goes. Here's another environments. A lot more green. And I like that the background is kind of blurry, and then the further background, you know, it moves a little slower. I guess this is the parallax scrolling. And then the foreground, when you see the trees or sometimes the telephone poles, or in other environments, rocks. Very much in focus, so it's cool, like depth of field effect. And then just that it kind of looks not photorealistic, but really nice compared with the train. It's kind of neat. So if we take a look at our map, you can see the Amsterdam, the train going from Amsterdam to Paris, slowly making its way. And the other car that I just sent off is already at its destination. Oh, the cherry steamer. Alright, so we're here in Munich. My car, there's nothing attached. You can see the fuel gauge has depleted a bit. So I can go anywhere I want. I could go up to Barcelona, or down to Barcelona, down to Milan, or up to Berlin. So you can see that this luxury car with the X on it, and then up here the stone cars with the X's on them, those are just left over from other lines, dropping them off. So I could go up to Berlin and finish that delivery. So click on that, and then I could add 3 more cars. Let's take the tech. So that's pretty easy, just going straight to Berlin. Take it away. Alright, so you can see I have these stones, and in the back I have these taxis. And it's kind of nice because I'm earning $2 for each of these stone cars going to Berlin. What else do I have? Oh, I have this Bluebell steamer on the pink line with the exclamation mark. I'm sure we'll see what that means. You can see the train doesn't say anything. Oh, here we go. Your Bluebell steamer has some sticky switches on the cab controls. Someone wasn't careful with their soda. So I have to repair it. I can use parts or coins, and I feel like you get coins a lot more often, so I just use coins to repair it. And we're all set. So I'm in Budapest, and this pink line basically just goes between Paris and Budapest right now. I'm probably going to expand that down to Istanbul later, but for now, since I'm doing this event for London, let's see, there's nothing I can take to London. So why don't we just load up with stuff going to Munich. I can carry 1 more, so why don't we just go to Paris with that. So I can't just go directly to Paris, I have to tap on Munich and then Paris, but since I want to stop in Munich and reload my stuff, I'll undo, step back, and that will just take me to Munich and stop. And there they go. And this nice bakery car, the economy car, and then water. Like watching this. Check out the light blue line. Already arrived in Paris. I'm going to extend this one down to Bordeaux and maybe Milan later, and then take it down from Berlin to Budapest and either Athens or Istanbul. As it gets. But for now, let's see. Cars going to Amsterdam. Let's see, 4. There we go, 8 cars. To Amsterdam. Nice nightclub cars. You might remember the nightclub floor from Tiny Tower. Kind of looks similar. And some freight. Alright, so now we have our dark blue line, the Bluebell steamer, ready to go. Now if we look at our map, we can see the Bluebell or this dark blue line goes from Rome to London, and then I'm going to extend that to Glasgow and Dublin later on. Since I'm doing that event, I want to be able to run this car a lot more often, so I'm going to add a fuel car. From my train yard, the craft menu, you can see I have a Bluebell steamer fuel car all ready to go, so I'm going to add that. Oh, one more thing I want to check. Okay, so it adds 250 fuel. Pretty good. Alright, so now this train is basically at max capacity. But I have this extra fuel car, so I can go pretty far. Or at least operate for a long time. So here in Milan, you can see down here at the bottom, next to the depart button, of course I have there's 5 out of 10 cars already laid over. We have 3 from going to Rome, then 2 going to Budapest. But since I'm doing the mission in London, there's a pizza car, that's kind of neat. 5 cars going to London, the Maple cars, and then just put these 3. So I'm full. I tap on Paris, and then finally London, send it on its way. So Maple is the Nimblebit equivalent of an Apple store. So it looks like little Apple stores. What are these? Plants. Alright, and then I have my Cherry steamer sitting in Berlin. Let's see. Right, so this is my green line down to Barcelona. Nothing laid over here, so what I want to do is add the 2 cars, or the 4 cars actually, from this station going to Barcelona. And since I can carry 4 more cars, see if I can add something going to Milan or Munich. Here we go, 6 and 7. It's not full, but not bad. First to Munich. There it goes. And you can see my other 2 cars have already arrived at their destinations. The Bluebell steamer on the pink line. That's already got the water. And I could just lay this over here if I want, just by tapping it. And then you can see it shows up there. If I just want to ditch this, you know, say my layovers are full, I can just tap the X and that'll let me remove it. It just cancels the job. I'll do that. I want to go to Paris. So there's nothing going to London, so I'm just going to continue loading up with stuff going to Paris. Let's see. And also, since I have this light blue line that goes from Paris to Amsterdam, I could load up this car going to Amsterdam, lay it over in Paris, and then when the blue line goes down there again, just pick it up. I can add 2 more. Let's go to Paris here, and then yeah, I guess that's it. You can see the steamrollers. an Apple Store, and a Sweet Car. And this, you can see this lists all my railroads. When you have a lot more, you can scroll through them, and then you just touch them to see where they're at. So this guy is in Amsterdam. You can see how much fuel they have, 179 out of 250. And then the Cherry steamer, it has 1 minute left to get to Munich. Bluebell steamer, 3 minutes to London. The other Bluebell, 3 minutes to Paris. So this guy is in Amsterdam, and you can see it just went from 179 to 181. So it's refueling as it sits there. Let's see, we're in Amsterdam. Where do we want to go? I want to deliver stuff to London as much as I can. I don't know if it's specific, like which cars I need to take to London for it to count towards my event, but I might as well just see what I can take there. And so you can see I have 4 cars left over, and here there's 4X yogurt car going to Paris for 96 coins, or the 4X coffee car going to Paris for 144 coins. So that one is probably a better one to take. So let's go to Paris. You see the cabin car, it's pretty cozy. And the coffee car, a lot like the coffee shop in Tiny Tower. You can see the coins flying by. The menu. So the event, yeah, still 28 jobs. And here I can build a new railway, or a new railroad, with the Emerald steamer engine that I've built previously. So I can start a new railroad with 8,000 coins. I'm not going to do that right now, but that will let me place a car in any cities that I operate in already. But I don't really need to expand right now. Or at least I don't need any new lines. And then back in here I have my stats. Nothing really, this is a pretty new game, so I don't have much history. Oh yeah, you can see here in the stats, I've earned 366 bucks. I've had this game for and purchased them with real money. It seems pretty reasonable, 100 bucks for $1, up to 2,000 bucks for $10. Or you can just buy crates or special crates. A little more expensive, but once you're expanding, come in handy. Or you could watch a little commercial for, you know, about 20 seconds and then earn 2 free bucks. And then in the bank, you probably remember the bank from Pocket Planes, where you can exchange bucks for coins. This game, the exchange rate changes like every day, I think. So right now I get 246 coins for every buck, or every bucks. Yesterday it was a different value. Since bucks are the premium currency in this game, I kind of feel like you don't really need to exchange them for coins. And then in the awards section you have your achievements, 25 awards. If I click more games, that's going to take me to the App Store, I think. Nimblebit Games. And just in this screen here, you can see I'm going to Paris. There's less than 1 minute remaining. I'm going 50 miles an hour. I can boost, you know, just get it to its destination for $1. That. And I can just click on these arrows, check on my other trains. See this guy in Paris. He's going to Amsterdam. And since this is my pink line, I can't go to Amsterdam with this train, so I'm going to unload this car. And then the Paris yard you saw increased to 6 of 10 layovers. My pink line can go to Munich and Budapest. I'll take some batteries to Budapest. And a sweet car to Munich. I'll go to Munich first. And that's kind of nice. These giant AAA batteries, it looks like. Or they're just tiny, because you know they're tiny people. My Bluebell steamer on the light blue line has a problem. Let's check it out. So you can see a little closer view of these trains when they're in the station. So when I try to load jobs, it's going to tell me about my crew. They're hungry. They restock with pizza, of course. There's coins to do that. This is my light blue line again. And since I can't go to London, I'm going to unload these cars. And my Paris yard is full with layovers going to London, it looks like. Oh, this one to Amsterdam. So I'm gonna head back to Amsterdam. And I'll just go to Berlin. The cars are these computer cars. And then chocolate milk. Steamer in Munich. Some steel, an Apple car. So you can see it looks like an Apple store. It's the green line, so I'm going down to Barcelona with these cars. Let me unload this one. Fill me up, going to Milan, and here we go. These luxury cars look nice. Right, so this guy is in London. And you can see how these, like the city names, like Rome and Milan are in blue, and that's because they're along this line that I operate. Whereas Munich and Barcelona are not, because they're not on this line. There aren't any layovers. Let's see if I can fill up going to Rome. That'll give me a lot of money. 5 and 3, going to Rome. Tap each step on. You can see, let me undo that. As I go to Paris, you can see it says Bluebell steamer, 8 of 8 cars, 2 minutes at 50 miles an hour. I extend to Milan, it takes 50 minutes, or 6 minutes. It's regular milk. Sweet car. Alright, so this is my list. None of my trains are in their stations yet. Background there. Trains. Guy is gonna pull into the station right now. I'm still going to Barcelona with you. I'll fill up with the economy car. Here we go. Going Budapest. So you can see I can't carry If I try to add this T car, I can't because it's. And I can only carry 4 more. And you can't split them up. So I am going to Budapest, and I don't really have any other choice. I'm just gonna take these 4 cars. Short train. So you can see I'm not hitting any roadblocks here. Nothing that's stopping me from playing right now. The trains are constantly getting into their next station. So there's always something to do. So this guy in Amsterdam, I want to continue on to Berlin. I can carry 1 more car. So I have my economy car for 13 coins, or a car full of books for 26 coins. Books are nice, or of course computers. Let's go with books. There we go, off to Amsterdam. Chocolate milk and computers. Now here's the environment with the rocks. So before you saw when I tried to boost $1. Here if I try to do it, it's going to cost 2. So that's because I got 2 minutes left, I think. Let's go over here, 6 minutes remaining, cost 6. 3 minutes remaining, $3. So if you're in a rush to get your deliveries finished, you can always speed them up. Here in the top left you see my level 6. Just like Pocket Planes or an RPG, I guess you get experience for every delivery you make. And I have 15,000 left to get to level 7.